Hello everyone, this is Dev from the Board Game Barbecue, and today we'll be unboxing The Great Wall. It's a strategic Euro game by Awaken, not the usual type of game that Awaken produces, but I think they've gone way and beyond this time to produce something different and to challenge them as well. So I know a lot of people are looking forward to see how this goes. I've got the core box here, which is quite big, as you can see, and also the stretch goals box, and we will be opening them both. Let's get started. Okay. The box is quite heavy, and there were two versions of the game. One with wooden meeples and one with plastic miniatures. So I have the miniature version here. Let's have a look. This is the rule book. All of the components. Introduction about the game, the setup, and the basic rules of the game. There's not a lot here. I see the rule book is quite lean. Flow, there's a special two-player mode, a solo mode, and a quick index and a co-op mode at the end as well. And here's a nice index at the end with the icon list and how the game progresses, which is quite nice. I'm assuming these are the screens for the players. There's some hidden information in the game as you use these to hide your resources and whatever else behind it. That's also good because it's showing you what its action is doing here. This is the board. Let's have a look at it. The art is quite unique for Awaken Realms. It has this water color feeling to it. The board is pretty big actually. So you can see here some of the locations on the board, the actions, and also up here. I'm just going to move it. You can see it in the camera. This is where the parts of the wall, if I remember correctly, go, and this is where the hordes of attackers come. Yeah, the board looks very nice. Okay, moving on. Lots and lots of punch boards. So there is a little bit of discussion online at the moment about how you build the walls, and this game you actually go and build the walls from these cardboard pieces. They're quite nice actually. Cardboard quality is good. And if I'm not mistaken, you actually punch these, and they have these little holes in the sides where you go and construct the actual wall, and these are the locations where you place the units on top of. So I think this will look very, very impressive on the table, and you can see here the various parts of the wall. Yeah, so these look very nice. So really looking forward to seeing how that looks on the table as soon as it's constructed. Some more punch boards. There's plenty of them. Some markers. And of course, it wouldn't be an Awaken Realms game if you didn't have some ridiculously looking miniatures. Oh wow. These are, you can see from the size of my hand that these are quite small, but the detail on them is quite impressive. And they fit very nice in the box as well. we see the camera out of focus. Yeah, these look very, very nice. As usual, wait until the end of the video and I will do a close-up. I'll take the camera out and do a close-up of some of these minis, but they look very, very pretty. And beside the first tray of minis, guess what? There's another tray of minis. So these are the 4 player colors in the game, and obviously each player has his own set of miniatures and each army is different, which is really nice. I have to say these trays are quite good. And the minis look absolutely beautiful. And the rest of the insert, I like these plastic trays holding everything in place. Got cards, heaps of resources here. So I'm assuming these are the different resources in the game. Yeah, these are really nice. I mean, nothing we haven't seen in other games, but nice to have a set of resources and not just cubes, stone. This is representing health or life. Some markers for the players. I wonder if these are plastic or wooden. Yeah, they're plastic, but really quite nice with the engravings. And there's plenty of cards. Let's have a look at the cards. The art on these is quite nice. You see, these are the different player colors and they still have the same watercolor approach like the main board. This is really nice. Yes, here's some of the cards that you play and have an effect and a boosted effect. I haven't seen anything about how this game plays, so really looking forward to seeing how that turns out to actually play on the board, on the table. These are the basic, I'm guessing, player cards. You can see some of the actions and descriptions on here. This insert is quite sturdy. I have to say it's better than other inserts I've seen from Awaken ROMs in the past. It almost looks like it's the harder plastic. Some additional cards. I'm really enjoying the style of art on the back and the front of these cards. So these are different characters in the game, the warden, the librarian, and they give you some permanent abilities. Each time you build, you get something. Each time you recruit. Oh wow, there's a lot of these. A head architect. Yeah, and here's some kind of events in the game. The cards are looking really nice and the quality is... They're glossy cards, which I have to say I'm not a huge fan of, but actually this type of art gets represented really nicely there. Some smaller cards here. And these big ones, which I'm assuming are the generals or the leaders in the game. You see some of these cards even have locations on the other side for units and some tokens, some of these markers. Look at this art, the art is beautiful. I mean, I've seen a lot of Awaken ROMs games now, but they never cease to amaze me with their art and their craftsmanship with their games. Yeah, so these are the generals or the characters in the game. They give you some permanent abilities and they also give you some initial setup, which I'm assuming is a combination of resources and other things. There's There's a lot of these in the game, which is great to see, because if these are as variable or as, you know, different as I hope they are, then they will provide a massive amount of replayability in the game. Yeah, and these go in every wall section. These big cards are very, very nice. And there's even more. Same types of cards. Also go on the different wall sections. One of the things that I can definitely vouch for Awaken Realms is they always put a lot of originality in their games. The games feel quite unique. So really looking forward to seeing what this plays like. And you can take these out. I don't know what this is for, but I hope I'm not missing anything below. I'm known to miss things. So this is quite cool because you can take this out and have the resources on the table. And that keeps everything in place, which is quite cool. So that is the core box, which already sounds like a lot of stuff. I have to say I did not know what to expect with this game, because the way it started and the way it ended, this is almost a 2-year-old campaign from Awaken Realms, so a lot of people said during the campaign or after the campaign that Awaken Realms changed the game a lot. But I haven't followed that at all, so I have absolutely no idea what to expect of this game. Okay, moving on to the stretch goals box. This one has some expansions inside. So we've got the Ancient Chronicles expansion, the Rat expansion, the 5th player expansion, and the Genghis Khan expansion as well. And you see here the components included: cards, 5th player faction, and of course some additional miniature models. Okay, here we go, the stretch goals. The components list the cards and the different expansions and the rules for these. Yeah, this is quite compact and clear. I hope it reads well as well. This is an additional screen for the 5th player. This art is really nice. Oh wow, some of these minis are quite phenomenal. So when I was a kid, I remember I used to watch some of these Japanese animated shows on TV, and some of these, you know, dragon type creatures are quite imprinted in my memory, so it's really cool to see some of these created in miniatures. Yeah, so these are the entire components list for the 5th player, and I'm assuming these minis are for the expansions. There's a tiny set of small cards here, which I'm assuming similar to the other. I guess this attaches to the board. Some extra cards for the expansions as well. So there's a lot here. I'm not going to open all of that now, but... And that's the whole thing. There's nothing under there. Let's have a look at these. They look quite cool. Remember to stick around for the end of the video. I'll take the camera off and walk through the minis up close. These look very detailed, extremely nicely done. All right, this is the Great Wall from Awaken ROMs. Thanks for watching. If you want to have a look at close-up of the miniatures, please stay on the line. I will do that now. Yeah, so these minis are quite phenomenal. They're very detailed, as you can see. You can see they've got different sculpts for different armies, which is always great. This is the expansion box, so this is the 5th player army or units. And these are some of the expansion ones. This is the one I got impressed with at the start. These are fantastic designs. Really nicely done. Thank you for watching the Great Wall from Awaken Realms. We'll see how it plays soon. Cheers.